They have a really good bar. Maybe we could like run a hose down the street, you know, all gravity, it'd be gravity fed, you know.
All right, we are streaming live again from the Nutmeg Curling Club. It is the 12:30 p.m. draw. I'm Mark Zakin, and we'll get the stones underway in a minute, and I'll announce the teams in a minute. So for the 12:30 draw on sheet A, we have the Trustees versus Guelph B. That's on sheet A. The GNCC trustees are John Pearson at skip, Dan Navratil at vice, Tom Lancaster at second, and Phil Falconer at lead. That is the GNCC trustee team throwing the yellow stones on sheet A. And they are playing Guelph B. Guelph B, skip Peter Forsythe, Grant Sinclair, Doug Lane, and Bruce McIntosh. Guelph B played against the GNCC executive team at 8 o'clock this morning and won pretty handily, as I recall. On sheet B, we have Nutmeg, the home club, and playing for Nutmeg is Joel Leneker at skip, Larry Bacchieri, who we refer to as Skinny Larry, at vice, Craig Steffen, who I refer to as the professor, at second, and Rick Sheridan at lead. Nutmeg had a thrilling come-from-behind tie last night with Craig Doucette skipping in substitution for Joel Leneker. And then on sheet C, we have Brunestones with Victor Lee at skip, Brian Damon at vice, Scott McLeod at second, and Dick Dawson at lead. And Broomstones played earlier this morning, also at the 8 o'clock draw, and put a pretty big victory on Galt. And Broomstones is playing Oshawa A. Oshawa A is skipped by Jerry Giddings, who came by and chatted with us in the booth earlier. Vice Dave Hughes, second Mark Elton, and the lead is Mike Todd. And they are on sheet C. All of the Canadian teams have the hammer, and they are all throwing the red stones, and all the American teams are throwing the yellow stones. So that's the introductions. This is a point spiel, which means that at the end of the event, it is all total stones Canada versus total stones US. The game itself does not count, and we've seen teams play to get points and not win games earlier today. So I expect toward the end that could happen as well today. In the meantime, stones are underway. And I apologize, I have not had the right stream on yet, so let me get to that. Been a long day in the booth here, and that should be where the games are right now. So, as you can see, on sheet A, we have an American counter with 2 red stones on the wings. Sheet B, it looks like Joel is looking to try and run up. Oh, it's not Joel's shot, sorry. Joel Lineker for Nutmeg has 2 yellow stones in the top 12, and Canada looks to try and run one of those out. Not enough energy there, and that stone has been tapped back to the button. Or to the 4. So Nutmeg is now counting 2, maybe 3 on sheet B. Broomstones is looking to take out this shot rock. That's in the 8. And over on A, we have the trustees sitting 1 and trying to tap out that red one and roll inside of it. Well, he got the tap, but didn't roll inside of it.
Everybody in the car.
On B, looks like Nutmeg chipped off its own stone to roll to the button and is now sitting 3, 4 in the house. Nutmeg with a very advantageous situation. And Galt is going to have to hit 1, maybe 2 of those yellow stones on the outside, get back into this end. Broomstones. Oh, Galt just flashed on B, so Nutmeg still sitting 4. And Joel's going to try and put up a guard for Nutmeg. Broomstone's looking to draw in, or maybe wick off this red stone. And he's hit it, but not with enough weight to move it out, I don't think. So we have Oshawa A sitting 2. And then over on sheet A, it looks like the trustees are sitting 1. But that shot can be had. And it looks like Guelph B is going to go after it. The Oshawa skip has come up a little short. Oh, not the skip. The Oshawa vice come up a little short in trying to draw in. How are you, Chuck?
Oh, hello there. I didn't recognize you in your new disguise. Hey, there he is.
All right, so Victor Lee, the Broomstone skip on sheet C, is going to try and hit this red stone in the top. Throwing a lot of weight at this stone, maybe trying to run it back for a double. He's got the inside of it, so I don't think he's got the double. But he did move to the inside a bit, and he looks like he could be counting. He's very close. Over on B, Nutmeg is just trying to guard or maybe get to the biter for one of these to count again. But Joel is throwing it heavy, and he's going to hit his and sit 5. But there is a stone exposed. A very big shot for the skip for Galt. He needs to make this shot. If he doesn't have to nose it, just to stay in it, just needs to come down to it, would be fine, and just give Nutmeg 1. Over on A, the trustees are sitting 1. Very big shot for Galt coming up. He's throwing a lot of weight at this. Galt sweepers are on it. Uh-oh. This could go through. Well, it's coming in nice now. Needs to get there. Got to go a little harder. Uh-oh. It looks like it's going to be at least a steal of 2. Oh. There's still a shot remaining for each skip, so Joel's going to throw the guard again. Let's take a look at the view on the far B. Yellow is counting 3, looks like. So Joel is going to just try and put up a guard. And
Is there anything like that?
over on sheet C, Victor Lee wants to take a little less broom. Try and draw in, maybe draw down to that red on the back. And over on A, looks like the Guelph team is going to try and run back a red into that shot on the button.
Do the math on that.
So Victor Lee's shot is underway. And sweepers are on it early and hard. He took less broom, and he's probably going to pay for that because this looks like it's going to be light and crash. Maybe not. It's not going to crash, but it's not going to get there. So Oshawa looks like they're sitting one. I'm going to try and draw in a second one with the hammer. Joel's guard on sheet B came up light, so they're going to try and draw down again to that stone, and it's on the way. Thrown more. Sweepers are way off. Uh-oh, this is coming in hot and maybe a field goal. And it is a field goal unless it catches that yellow, and it doesn't. Oh, it does hit a yellow on the back, which is very lucky. Maybe that was a plan B. So it's a steal of one for Nutmeg on sheet B. Very nice tap. Looks like a score of 2 for Oshawa on sheet C. And we will switch the screens now. So recapping the scores on sheet A, the trustees did steal one. On sheet B, Nutmeg stole one. And on sheet C, Oshawa took 2 for a 2-0 lead.
Good. Yourself?
All right, action underway in the second end here of the 12:30 stream. Nutmeg Nation is out in force. We've got 5 people watching. That's exciting. That's the most we've had all day. Action in the second end here. Nutmeg on sheet B, sitting shot in the back 4, back 8. On sheet C, Oshawa looking to put a hit, nose hit on the sheet shot and the yellow in the back, and does. Oshawa sitting 2. The team from Galt crashes on their own, but they are now sitting in the top 8. And Joel is going to ask for the hit from Craig Steffen. And then over on sheet A, we have Guelph B sitting shot, but pretty exposed and looking to guard it. Craig Steffen's hit coming down. They're sweeping it pretty hard. He's made the hit. Jammed on the back one, but they're sitting. Nutmeg sitting 1-2. top 8, back 8. Pretty good situation. Over on A, the trustees looking to hit the top one, maybe roll under that guard. Shots coming down the ice. Sweepers are on it. Pretty down weight, so it's going to stick around if it hits. It does hit, and it does stick around. It's hard to see if it's buried. It's not shot. And Guelph B is going to go after it anyway. Not sure why. Might ignore it if it's not counting. But yeah, it does want to put a play on it. Meanwhile, Victor Lee, Broomstones, is looking for a hit and roll with Oshawa up 2-0 and sitting 3 in the house. Victor Lee's team played really well this morning, but this Oshawa team says they're better than the other Oshawa team, which obliterated Ardsley in the last draw. So Oshawa is going to be a pretty tough competitor. Meanwhile, Broomstones did make the hit, but hit it too thin, and it rolled out. Nutmeg has 2 stones in the house and looking to put up a guard. Sweepers are on and off, mostly off. Guard is over curling a little bit, but looks pretty good. Over curled just a smidge, but there is room into the 4. And the team from Galt is taking a look at it. Meanwhile, Oshawa's put another one in, this one on the back 4. The Guelph team jams on the guard, rolls in, but it's not counting, and I assume Joel will put the guard back up. Broomstones looking for the run back double, gets it on sheet C. Very nice shot there. Probably from Brian Damon. And over on A, oh, Joel went for the hit, not the guard. Got the hit, but flashed out. Oshawa is trying to come down to this yellow one. It looks like he's going to flash it. And he did. So big turnaround for Broomstones in this end, and Broomstones can now afford to throw the guard, maybe top 12 out counting the red on the far right is what Victor Lee is looking at, and that's what he's going to call. Biting the 8. Looking to bite the 8. Meanwhile, Joel, who did not throw the guard on the last one, has given up a hit now, and now he's going to ask Skinny Larry to hit back. He's got to hit and avoid jamming. And over on sheet A, we see that the team from Guelph, B, is sitting 2 against the trustees. So Nutmeg's shot coming down the ice. Sweepers are off. Joel definitely does not want to jam. Sweepers are on and off. They're off again. Good weight. He's definitely going to move this red stone. But there's the jam. So that was the danger, of course. There's the jam. What's the problem? So Craig Doucette's wife, Erin, is over here changing something with the screens.
Well, it says if I press change, but it says this input will need to be stopped where do you want to continue? Click no.
So Nutmeg is now going to chase that stone that's sitting mostly guarded in the 8. Hello. I'm Mark.
Mark Ivor.
Ivor, where are you from?
Mississauga.
Ivor is from Mississauga. He stepped into the booth here. Ivor is on, what team are you on?
We're on at 245.
Oh, you're on this team? Ivor Grimba, throwing second on the Mississauga Curling Club. Where is the Mississauga?
Right next door to Toronto.
Everybody from Toronto is here. The entire city of Toronto Metropolitan Curling Club area is all here at the Ross Tarlton at Nutmeg. Very nice shot from Broomstones to sit 2 now. And
you're getting streamed, are you?
Ashawa is going to try and maybe throw the double.
Oh, you're right in the booth.
And over on, you guys can grab a headset and join the commentary if you like. They'd rather drink. So Nutmeg shot on B, trying to get past this guard, trying to freeze. It's got a lot, so it's probably going to tap a little bit and wick off and head toward the center exposed. But not a bad shot. It can be hit. Ashawa is going to try and double out these stones here on C, and over on A, the trustees are looking at 2 Guelph stones, and looks like they're maybe going to try and double them out, try and go bing bing across, hit one of them skinny and bounce them both out. Hard to say. Or bounce the one out that's exposed and roll over to nestle to the one that's behind the guard. I think that would be a good play. So the hit for Ashawa is on the way, and that looks light, and I think that's going to overcurl. It's curling hard now. I think he'll get the top one, but I don't think he's going to get the double. Oh, he might get the back one. It overcurled that much. So he got the back one, and he's sitting shot. But Victor Lee has a pretty easy hit on it. I think he'd like to hit and roll away and split the house so he doesn't leave the double. The team from Galt missed the hit on the Nutmeg stone, so Nutmeg's still sitting 1 and is looking to guard. So the trustees make the hit, and they're sitting shot, but they are wide open for a re-hit back for 2. So hit and stick for 2 for Guelph on sheet A coming up. Not a difficult shot. Victor Lee, he's coming down with his hit, and he looks dead on it. They're sweeping it now. He wants to just catch the outside, I think, which is exactly what he's going to do, and roll a bit. Nope, he caught the inside and rolled. So he did leave the double. Nose with some weight will send both of those out of the rings, and will take 1 for Oshawa. Joel has thrown an almost dead freeze. I think he wanted a higher guard, but he's thrown an almost dead freeze. Those stones are also capable of being doubled out. It looks like Guelph made the hit and stick on sheet A to take 2, so Guelph is now winning 2-1 on sheet A. On sheet B, the skip for Galt is going after this hit. Looks to be a little wide, but he made the hit. I think he's given up a steal of 1 to Nutmeg, so Nutmeg will go up 2-0. And Oshawa, looking to double these out, looks very light to me and a little wide. So I think he might flash here and give up 2. And he did. He flashed. They're sweeping the yellow one, but that yellow one's not going out. So that's 2 for Broomstones. Broomstones with the hammer has an open draw basically for 3. He's looking to just come down to his. Nestle down to his for 3. And we'll take a look at the near C screen here. As you can see, Broomstone sitting 2, Victor Lee with a draw. All he has to do is nestle down to his own stone, and he'll take 3. Not a difficult shot here. As Victor Lee's a good player. Expect him to make this shot.
Yeah, and you know, like this is it's a strange country, you know, like we have these
Shots on the way. Sweepers are on it a little bit. They need to go a little bit. They're off now. This looks really good. I think it's coming dead down onto that yellow stone. Very nice shot for Victor Lee, and that's 3 yellow.
Yeah, it's like asking what's the nature of your game.
So we will now look at the far houses. We are through 2 ends in this 12:30 draw here in the Ross Tarlton at Nutmeg. Some very good action so far and very close games. Recapping over on sheet A, we have the Guelph B team up 2-1 against the trustees of the GNCC. On sheet B, we have Nutmeg up 2-0 against Galt. And on sheet C, we have Broomstones now up 3-2 against the Oshawa A team. We just saw a hit flashed on sheet A by the trustees. And so Guelph is going to try and tap back that stone that's in the top 12. Nutmeg has a guard up and is trying to draw behind it, and this is a perfectly thrown a draw behind by Rick Sheridan, who plays with me on Tuesday night, and I'd like to see Rick throw more of those on Tuesday night. That was a great shot. So the team from Galt is going to try and chip that stone out. Kind of a down weight heavy draw. And over here on sheet C, looks like they're trading hits.
I apologize to everybody I knew, like you, who has a dog, that now you can't bring your dog anymore to the club because my dog's dangerous for everybody. Everybody was so proud. You know, oh, it's not your dog, this was a policy. Anyway.
So this Galt shot is very hot. They're running after it, and I think he's going to flash. That was too much weight for that shot. So Joel is going to, for Nutmeg, is going to ask for a guard to be put up, a 2-guard, just right of center line. And he's going to try and protect this stone that's in the top 4. Craig Steffen releases the stone. It looks like it's a little hot to me. Sweepers are off. Sweepers are still off, and this is going to go quite a ways. Not the guard that Joel was looking for. This may actually go deep to the tee line. It's stopping because it's wide. So Galt can throw the same shot that they just threw if he wants to, because it's still there. That didn't change anything. Broomstones and Oshawa trading hits. Broomstone's going to throw another hit on sheet C, and over on A, it looks like Guelph is sitting 2 and is throwing a third one in. It's just want to bite to 12, and they will get the biter. Looks like. Oh, there's a flash of a hit by Broomstones. Unusual. Haven't seen that out of Broomstones much all day, but it happens to the best of us, and it does create an opportunity for Oshawa, who is going to look to split the house now. With the hammer, Oshawa is going to go T-line to the left wing. Galt tried a lower weight shot, over curled, missed the guard, and went all the way over to the other side in the top 8. Oshawa looked to put another one in, was a little heavy and narrow, but it's going to stay in the back 8, so it still accomplishes the splitting the house goal, even though it's behind the tee line. Broomstones is going to look to try and hit that stone on the button, roll over in front of the stone that was just thrown. So a control hit, I think, here is the call. Control hit it like at around 7 o'clock on the stone and roll over in front of the other stone. So line looks pretty good. Sweepers are on it now. They're on it pretty heavy. It looks like it's going to get the hit, and now it's just a question of the roll. So the hit is a nose hit, and Broomstones will sit 1 on the button. Over on sheet B, Nutmeg is still on the button, but Galt is coming down to it this time. Sweeper's not on it. That stone is pretty open. Can see a lot of it, but Galt is again heavy, and I don't think they may chip it, but they're definitely not hitting it out. So Galt winds up jamming on their own in the back, and Nutmeg has another opportunity to put up a guard. And then over on sheet A, the trustees now are sitting shot, buried in the 8, and have an opportunity to put a second one in or guard. I think they'll probably try and put one in on top of that one. And this has good weight. They're not sweeping it. It may be out a little bit, and it may be a smidge heavy. So the stone on A is out a little and a little heavy, and it's sailing through, which does give an opportunity to Guelph. Guelph may look for the run back. Nutmeg, Skinny Larry is thrown an almost perfect guard in the 12. There is a port there to make a hit. There is a port. They really need to make this shot. So not very much broom. So in my experience, you got to throw really up weight on that broom. And this guy's on the stick, and he's thrown a bomb. So that's definitely enough weight. They're sweeping it hard. But that's a big advantage of a stick curler. He's thrown a bomb, and he's going to crash. Boom, boom. Oh, look at that. He moved both of those nutmeg stones in the front 12 and trickled into the 4 where he may be shot. So we're going to take a look at that. So I think the red stone is shot. It's very gettable. And Skinny Larry's going to try and hit that. It's a pretty easy shot for Skinny Larry here. Of course, nothing is easy in curling, but that hit is very available. Sweepers are on it. And it's curling quite a bit, but I think he's got the hit. The question is the jam. So he took out the back one, hit the back one, but he has made the hit. He stayed sitting 2, both in the top 4. Great position for nutmeg. Over on C, Broomstones looks to be throwing a freeze to the stone in the back 8. So dead freeze to the stone in the back 8. They're sweeping it hard. They got to sweep it for line and for weight, it looks like. But this is going to be a good. This is a good shot. They're off it now. May have overcooked it a smidge. They don't want to bump that red one much. They did. So they overcooked it a little bit because that stone can be hit now, and Oshawa can hit it and sit 4. And Oshawa with the hammer is set up for a very big end if they hit and stay. So hit and stay is the call. Over on sheet A, it looks like the trustees are sitting at least 1. We don't have a RA camera, so can't tell you exactly. Oshawa coming at this stone now. Sweepers are not on it. Needs to move. It's right in front of me. I have a pretty good look at it, and it needs to come over a bit. They're sweeping it now. They should come off that because they need to get to the front of it, and they are going to get to the front of it. Nice. So excellent shot, excuse me, by Oshawa. They now sit 4, and Victor Lee's got some work cut out for him. He's thinking about how do I not give up a big end here. He could throw the double, take out 2 stones. He's thinking about the double. He throws the double. He'd sit shot, may give up 3, but at least he's starting to cut them down. So I think he's looking for the double. Over on B, very nice shot by Joel to take out the red stone, but he's left a hit back, and a hit back will give up 2 and tie this game. It's not hammer time yet on sheet B. The hit is underway on sheet B. Sweepers are just looking at it. That needs to move quite a bit. They're sweeping it, but it needs to move quite a bit still. It's moving now, and I think he has it. Nice shot. He sits 2. Victor Lee coming with a Megatron bomb here. Sweepers are on it. They're off it now. He's a little outside. I don't think he's going to make the double. No. A lot of weight, so he wasn't going to stay unless he hit it dead flush or on the right. And so Oshawa still sitting 3 with 2 stones to throw for Oshawa and 1 to throw for Broomstones. And I think Oshawa's looking at a big end here. Joel looking to play the hit on the stone in the top. It looks like he's prepared to concede, giving up 2 if they trade hits. But he doesn't want to give up more than 2. So Joel is going to try and hit this stone in the top and stay. And Joel's throwing some big weight. That's got to move. Sweepers are off. That's got to move a bit. And that's running straight down the center line. It needs to come over. Sweepers are still off. It looks like it may not get it. He hit it, and it did go out, and he rolled over behind cover to sit shot. Well, I don't know if that's what he was intending, but that's a great result. Because he's now sitting shot and pretty buried. There is a hit to get to it. Not an easy shot on that side. Oshawa trying to put in a fourth one. They're all sweeping it, but I don't know why. It looks like it's got plenty to get there. And it does. So Oshawa's sitting 4. That does wind up as a guard, and so Victor Lee could draw behind that stone and maybe sit on the back stone behind it. And he'd sit shot if he could throw a dead freeze to that stone on the back. So that's what he's looking at. Meanwhile, Galt is just going to have to draw in for 1. They're not going to try and hit the shot that Joel threw that skidded over to the back 12. It doesn't look like. He's thinking about it. He's going to come down and talk to the vice about maybe trying to throw that shot. And over on A, hard to see A from my vantage point, but it looks like there's 2 yellow stones in there. There's a red one in there. I'll take a walk over to A and see the screen on A on the overhead screen. So on the overhead screen, it looks like red is sitting shot on the back 4. Yellow is on the top 4, and yellow is trying to maybe get through. Not sure exactly what the shot is here. Maybe run back his own, but as that looks like 1 red to me. And over on B, the Galt skip has decided to try and hit the stone that is touching the back 8. He's going to try and throw it through the port. That's a hard shot. And Victor Lee has decided to try and go around the outside of that guard and get to that stone on the back, and that is a tremendous shot. That is one of the best shots I've seen all day. Tremendous shot to hit that stone, be partly buried, and Oshawa's going to have to come down and throw it right back. Galt has thrown this out and has missed completely. Very hard shot. Actually chipped one of the yellows for nutmeg, and but I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think nutmeg steals 1. So nutmeg goes up 3-0. And the Oshawa skip, Jerry Gidding, I think his name is. Jerry Giddings. He's got a huge hammer shot right here. If he chips out the yellow, it's for 3. If he hits and sticks, it's for 4. We'll take a look at it. It is buried a bit. The sweepers are just watching it. They're sweeping it hard now. I don't know if he threw enough weight to get to this. They're sweeping it hard. Oh, what a nice shot. Have a cigar, Jerry Giddings. That's a shot for 4. Very nice. Very nice. He told me he was better than the Oshawa B team, and now I see why. We had him in the booth before the game, and Jerry Giddings said he was the better team, and he just proved it there. Tremendous shot by the Oshawa A team, and that's why they're the Oshawa A team. So we will now switch to the warm room view. Oshawa putting a big number of 4. And I'm giving a round of applause to my friend Jerry Giddings. Very nice shot. Very nice shot for 4. Oshawa taking a 5-2 lead over Broomstone. Oh, a 6-2 lead over Broomstones. Really good curling here today. Come down to Nutmeg if you're in the area. If you're a Nutmeg member or want to see some good curling, it's been tremendous all day long. So over on sheet A, the trustees have a stone on the button. There's a stone in front of it stone on the 4. There's a couple of guards up there, and it looks like they may just want to jam it up a little bit. So this stone is coming down. Maybe looking to push that red a little bit, a corner to it. They push the red up a little bit. The yellow is now a guard, but there is an angle raised there, red into yellow, and I think that's what he's going to throw. Meanwhile, Nutmeg, with a 3-0 lead, has one on the button and a guard. My friend Rick Sheridan playing lights out. I really hope he keeps that game going for next Tuesday. I need some little bit of that for my Tuesday night competitive team. And over here on sheet C, Broomstones is just going to have to put up the guards to generate some offense after giving up that 6. 6-3, I'm sorry, it was 6-3, not 6-2. 6-3 on sheet C, Broomstones behind the Oshawa A team. Looking for the run back on sheet A, and he's going to get the run. He hit it, but he hit it on the wrong side, and the yellow is still there. So Guelph is probably going to look, the trustees are probably going to look to throw another guard, and they are. They're going to throw a guard up in the top 3. And Joel is going to go for a pretty risky shot here. He wants to get rid of this red on sheet B. He wants to get rid of the red in the top 12, but if this is thrown out a bit, he could jam. He wants to hit that red on the inside and roll over, which is a great call if you can make it, but always a danger to throw a shot where if you miss, you give a real advantage to the other side. So risky shot here, big risk-reward shot for Nutmeg. And Craig Steffen has pitched this out a little bit, and this could be a disaster. It's wide, and it may be completely wide and miss everything, so that wouldn't be so terrible. But if it hits, it could be a jam. Oh, he hits it on the nose, and that works out fine. Didn't get the hit and roll, but did hit it on the nose, didn't jam, and it worked out fine. Over on sheet C, Broomstones is now trading hits with the team from Oshawa, and that's not going to get them back in this game. At best, it'll get them a 1 if they trade hits the whole way. Broomstones really needed to throw some guards and set up some offense, and this is not going to do it. Oshawa throwing a hit on this stone on the back. They're sweeping it pretty hard to keep it from flashing, and it is going to move a little bit, but I think he's going to get it. Really nice weight, so it may not roll out. Really, really nice weight. That's one thing about these Canadians. They throw hits with down weight, and they stick around. They don't blast them and roll out. Guelph looking for the run back again, and misses the run back, but hits the yellow in the 12, bounces the shooter over to put the other yellow stone pretty much on the button. But there are 3 red stones in the top 8. So if somehow Guelph can get that trustee stone off the button, Guelph can take a big number. And over on C, we're just trading hits again. Over on on B, Galt is trying to move one of these yellow stones. Not enough weight to really do anything there. He just kind of drives it back to the button. And Nutmeg is now sitting 2, and I think Joel's just going to throw a guard. Just a corner guard on that red stone so that the red can't be run back to those 2 in the 4. Or he's thinking about tapping back the yellow, but I like the corner on the red is the better shot, but he's going to tap the yellow. So it's a point spiel, and maybe that's what he's thinking, but this is not the shot I would throw if I were him. Craig Steffen looking to throw the tap on the yellow, and looks pretty good, actually. Needs to move in a little bit. Needs to come, but it's going to be okay, I think. Nope, it's not coming in. Oh, he flashed. He chips off he ships off the shot on the button, but the problem now is that that stone is behind the tee line, and that gives Galt an opportunity to hit and roll to the inside of that stone and sit shot. So it doesn't take the skip very long to realize that's the call. Over on A, there are now 4 stones in the top 8, and still no clear way to get to that trustee stone on the button. And Broomstones trading the hits. It looks like, I wasn't watching, but it looks like Oshawa missed one of the hits. So that gave Broomstones the opportunity to put another one in, split the house, and sit 2. And Galt is just struggling. They missed this shot, totally wide and light, missed it completely, and now Nutmeg is going to guard again. Nutmeg could guard again. The red run back will still be there. The trustees over on sheet A are putting up a center line guard. That's perfect. Oshawa is going to come down and hit this stone on the back 8 and stay. It's not going to count, so Broomstones is still sitting 1. And I think Victor Lee is just going to hit this and stay in the ring somewhere. Probably the easiest way. He's telling his shooter to not throw big weight because he wants this stone to stick around. Skinny Larry's guard went a little deep. It's in the 8. There is still a path into the button, I think, and there could be a wick off of that stone, but somebody from Galt has to throw a real shot because they have not thrown a shot this entire end. Over on C, it looks like we're going to get the hit, but I don't think we're going to get the stay. So he rolls out, and now we're back to trading hits, and Oshawa can just trade hits and give up 1 here. Victor Lee knows he needed his player to stay there. He's not happy with that result, and Oshawa now has the hit. Finally, Galt is going to try the run back on that red. They've run out of options. That red run back has been there for the entire end, and he's going to try it now. So shots underway, plenty of weight, needs to move. They're sweeping it now. That's a lot of weight. It's going to have to hit a yellow. If it goes through the wickets and doesn't hit a yellow, it's not staying. And it's, it's wide. I mean, narrow. Caught the inside of it and did nothing. So Joel is thinking about drawing in behind that red, take away the red run back, take away the draw, or corner to the red. There must have been a miss again by Oshawa because Victor Lee once again has an opportunity to draw in and sit 2 on sheet C. And somehow, I missed it, over on A, Guelph did manage to run one of those red stones back into the 4 and sit shot. So that was there all day, and eventually they figured out how to get there and do it. This stone for Broomstones is getting close to the back, but it's going to stick, and that's fine. He's got 2. He split the house. Joel has thrown a little heavy, but he's put another one, not Joel, Skinny Larry has put another one in. Nutmeg is sitting 5, but Galt once again has a way out of this mess. There is a clear path in. He's going to try the run back. I don't know why. I think it'd be better to just throw one in onto that pocket and in the center, but he's going to try the run back. If he hits it, there's a lot of yellow stones in the house. He should hit something if he hits the red one.
This guy's trying to
So another big shot for Galt coming up here. Oshawa has a hit coming down the ice on sheet C, and they're sweeping this pretty hard, but I can't really see it very well, but I think he's got the hit. Yep, he's got the hit. He's going to sit shot. Over on B, finally the hit, and he does finally make it. So we're going to take a look at that camera angle because that's awfully close and too close to see from here. So let's take a look at the house on the near B. And it looks like it's clearly yellow 1. So nutmeg 1. And it looks like Galt is 2 to me. And Joel is looking at maybe coming down the middle and running his stone that's in the 4, top 4, back into the red. That looks like what he's thinking about. And that would be a really good shot. There are other options. He's thinking about maybe drawing into the pocket and sitting 2. Over on sheet C, Victor Lee, another very nice hit and roll, but not rolling to stay. He's going to go out, and that's not what he wanted. And I'm sure Oshawa will just hit that yellow one on the back and sit 2. And that'll set up a force situation for Victor Lee, and he's shaking his head. He knows that was a miss. So Joel trying to figure out what he wants to do for nutmeg. Looks like, to me, he's decided to throw sort of hack weight through the port and chip this yellow into the red and sit 6. Very exciting shot here for Joel. Oh, no. Skinny is suggesting that they're just going to try and draw to the top 12. Just tap the ice. Looks like he's going to try to draw to the top 12. I don't know. Kind of like the hit for 6. That's me. Over on A, it looks like the trustees are just trying to throw a guard in and give up the 1. Oshawa on sheet C is going to make the hit and stick. Very nice shot. And Victor Lee has to draw for 1. Joel coming through the port and is going to wick off the red and is going to leave a shot for Galt to come in. And I don't know if he can move that yellow and take 1, and it'd be dangerous to play in there, because if he hits that yellow and on the outside and spills out and runs that red back, he's going to give up 5. So I don't think there's an easy way to take 1 here. And if I'm, well, they still have a shot each, it looks like. Actually, I'm sorry, Galt looks like they have 2, and Nutmeg has 1. So he could try and hit the yellow first and set up hitting it again with his next one. Meanwhile, Victor Lee has basically thrown 1 to the 4, taken the 1, and it's Broomstones now has 4. Oshawa A has 6. 6-4 Oshawa A after 4 on sheet C. And Galt spending a lot of time thinking about this. Guelph spending a lot of time thinking about their shot. over on A. Guelph is looking at maybe a yellow, red, yellow run back to take 4. We'll take a look at that on sheet A. I'll show you that on sheet A. So sheet A, Guelph is trying to figure out how to run one of those reds back into that yellow and take 4. They're sitting 1. And on sheet B, Galt is thinking about it. I think both of these teams are going to run out of time eventually on sheets A and B. They're setting themselves up for a 7-end game right here because both of them have taken a very long time. The shot on A from the trustees is on its way, and the trustees have thrown an inconsequential shot, and that'll end it. So Guelph will take 1 and go up 4-0. Oh, sorry, 4-1. Guelph is up 4-1 on sheet A. Galt has finally figured out what they're going to do with their first of skip stones, and it looks like they have decided to try and come down and hit that yellow, even though if they hit the yellow that's the shot, it's going to almost definitely spill their own stone that is sitting second shot. So I guess they are playing for what happens when they get another shot. But this is really a dangerous play. They are down 3-zip, but this is a dangerous play. Shot is underway. Sweepers are watching it. Looks like it needs to curl to come off that guard. It's kind of light. So I think it should curl. They're sweeping it now. It's not big weight. It's just coming gently down. They really need to sweep it now. Need to sweep it now. Keep sweeping it, boys. What are you doing? So it wicked. It's kind of inconsequential. And Joel is looking at a potential run back of his yellow into that red to sit 5. Not much danger. If he misses, worst case scenario, I guess he could hit his stone off the button, miss that red, and wind up with the red counting. That's possible. If he angles it too sharply, Joel could hit his yellow into the yellow that's shot rock, spill both of them out, and the red would be left standing as shot. So let's take a look at near B. There's the near B house. You can see the stone and the top 8 that Joel is looking to run back. And as I said, he could run it back at an angle and run it into his own yellow and spill both yellows, and the red would be counting. So Joel is out of his hand now. Sweepers are on it very hard. So he's probably just going to catch the inside of his stone. He was very narrow. And now he's left a path in, I think, for red to get to be shot without much danger to this effort. So, in fact, if he can wick off the yellow that's in the top 4, red could sit 2. If he moves it at all, or he could sit 1 if he gets in there. So there is a path in. I don't see a downside, and I think that's the shot he's going to throw. Hey, we are up to an all-time high of 8 people watching the stream, so that's very exciting. I'm not just talking to myself, although my wife might say that I am talking to myself. And we're going to stay here on the close-up of near B, even though the other two games have moved down to the other end, because this is a big shot. This is a big shot for Galt. Galt Skip hasn't really made a big shot all day, so this is a good time for one. He's going to need this one to get back in this game. So maybe he gets in there and moves that yellow just a smidge and takes two, or at least, well, there is danger now that I think about it. If he's heavy and hits that red on the outside, he could spill his red, both reds, and give up a bunch, depending upon how heavy he is. So he really can't afford to be heavy here. So this stone is on its way. It's probably not going to be heavy enough to do any damage. They're sweeping it hard. We got three guys sweeping it. Get on it. Gotta go. Gotta go. I feel like Russ on TSN. Gotta go. And he's not going to get there. All right. That was my Russ imitation. All right, so Nutmeg is going to take another one, and it is 4-0 Nutmeg on sheet B, and we will switch now. We'll switch the houses. I did get a compliment here in the warm room. I'm very thankful. Somebody sitting next to me. Ivor, yes, Ivor, sitting in the booth with me who did not want to put on a headset. Ivor complimented me on my calls, which I very much appreciate since I've been here at 8 o'clock, since 8 o'clock in the morning, mostly talking to myself. We have, as I'll show you, we have this dashboard which will tell us how many people are watching, and I now have 8, which is the most I've had all day. At several points during the day, that has said 0. But if you call curling in a forest and nobody's listening, are you still making a sound, is the question. All right, so let's recap the scores. Over on sheet A, it looks like Guelph B is up 4-0 against the Trustees. 4-1, right? I keep missing that one. 4-1 against the Trustees. The Trustees are sitting 3, however, with Hammer, so they have an opportunity here. And the Trustees are shooting, so there's a big opportunity here. It looks like they're going to try a tap back of this stone that's in the top 8. Maybe tap it back a smidge. Wouldn't be terrible. Hard to tell from this angle whether that's the call or whether they're just throwing a guard. But either way, stone is coming down, and it looks like it's going to be a little short to do anything. My wife has brought me candy. So things are looking up for me here in the booth. Over on sheet B, Nutmeg is throwing stones into the house up 4-0. That makes sense. But that one got hit and didn't go, so Nutmeg is probably just going to hit that one on the back and sit 2. That would be my call. Or he could put something up, but I think he's gonna draw down to it. I don't think he needs to draw down to it. I would just hit it personally. He's thinking about a guard. A lot of options, Joel. I would just clear that one on the back. That's the play, Joel. Get rid of that one on the back. That's the right call. You're up 4-0. No need to do that. Joel is going to put up the guard. I disagree with that call, but it's not a terrible call. But I would play the hit. Over on sheet C, Broomstone's down 6-4, has 2 in the back 4, back 8. Oshawa looking to follow it down and just come right down to those and sit there. These guys from Oshawa are very good curlers. Both teams very impressive. The Oshawa A and Oshawa B, very impressive teams. I have a feeling the guys in Toronto from the other clubs would tell me they're better, but these Oshawa guys are pretty damn good, and this is another demonstration of why, as this draw is coming right down on top of it, right to the button. These Oshawa guys are putting on a curling clinic here today at Nutmeg. Really a curling clinic from Oshawa. Are these guys in Oshawa any good? They're good, I'm told. Yeah, you don't have to tell me. I've been watching them all morning. Very nice shot. These guys from Galt, not as good. They are struggling against Nutmeg. Trying to make a hit here on this shot, and it could flash. This looks like it's a down weight, and it may flash. And that's what's going to happen. The guys from Galt are struggling all day long, and that may be the reason why Joel threw in. He may have just thought that that the guys from Galt couldn't make that hit, and he's going to go with the guard now. Over on A, we don't have a far A camera, but it looks to me like the Guelph B team has 3 stones in the house, counting 3, and with stone in hand coming down the ice, looking to put a 4th one in, I think maybe. Victor Lee is going to try and draw down on top of that stone that Oshawa just put down there, and he's a little narrow. I don't know if they're going to get past that guard. They're sweeping it pretty hard. It's going to be very tight to that guard. Got to get by. Got to get by. Oh, it crashes. Victor Lee and Broomstones have been a very impressive team that I've seen today, but they are just up against it in this team from Oshawa. These guys do not miss many shots, and Oshawa is looking to put up a guard in the top 8 or top 12 and really put the pressure on Broomstones, with Broomstones having 1 shot to go. So Jerry Gettings, my new friend from the Oshawa Curling Club, I'm expecting him to make this shot. I haven't seen this guy miss anything all day. Over on B, the guard for Nutmeg went a little deep. There is a double there. Not enough weight, I don't think, here on this shot to move both stones, but I think he will get one of them. Nope. Yep. I don't know if he got the one. No, I don't think so. I don't think he moved anything out of the house. It looks like a triple I tried to throw the other night. I moved all 3 stones, and none of them left the house. One jammed into the next one, which jammed into the next one. The last one jammed into my own stone, and all 3 stones were still remaining after the dust settled. Craig Steffen looking to throw big heat on this red stone and get rid of it. Joel wants to move. He thinks it's out. It looks to be a little out. No sweepers on it. It may flash. Chips it and does get it out. So the stone is out. There's 3 yellow stones in the house on B. 1 red stone. Looks like 2 yellows are counting. Jerry Gettings did put up the guard, but not as good as I think he wanted. It's left open a path to that one on the 4, in the back 4. And I think Victor Lee can hit this dead on and stay shot. If he hits it nose, he'll drive the red back into those 2 yellows. He may spill the 2 yellows, but a nose hit here is going to be shot. Even if not nose, he could hit it a little bit on the right side and spill over under cover, which would also be pretty damn good. So Victor Lee, who's been deadly on hits most of the day today, I think he's going to throw kind of down on this. I would say control, like 10-5, maybe 11, hog to hog, and try and hit and stay. Hit and stay or hit and roll. It is down. Sweepers are off it, but I think they're going to need to get on it, and they're on it now. He may have thrown this a little too down. He may have thrown this a little too down. He was too. He's going to get by, but I don't know if he's going to hit it out or stay. Yeah, no. Like I said, I think he was trying to throw 10-5, 11. My guess is if I had a clock on that, it was closer to 11, and it was just a little too down. A little too down. Over on B, Skinny Larry is looking to draw down to that pile of rocks that the yellow has in the back 12 and sit 2. And he's thrown a very nice draw here. Got to go a little bit, boys, to outcount that red. And they didn't. Did they? I don't know if the red is outcounted or not. We'll have to take a look. All right, so we'll stay here on C because Jerry Giddings has a draw pretty much for 2. The port's pretty open. He's got backing. He's a little heavy. He's a little narrow. He's a little narrow, and I think he may flash. He's going to crash or flash. Neither of them are good. Nope. It's 1. Oshawa takes 1 and takes a 7-4 lead through 5. 7-4 lead through 5 for Oshawa. Let's take a look at what's going on at the far end of B. So Nutmeg is going to try and hit that stone in the open in the 8 and sit 3. I don't know. There was another red stone. I don't know what happened to it. So a lot of weight from Skinny Larry. Sweepers are on it right out of his hand. So they must think that it's narrow. It looks like it's a hit to me. I don't know if it's going to stay. It was narrow. Oh, the red jams on the back. I don't think that matters because there's too many yellow counters all over the place. And so Guelph's got an open draw, but he's got to find a place to hide. So he's going to have to hide down on that left side in that pile of stones behind that guard. There's plenty of room there. Get by the guard and hide back there. And that's what he's going to have to do. So they set up quickly for this shot. It's on the way. Sweepers are walking with it. They think it's heavy. It looks a little hot. No, they're sweeping it now. There's only one sweeper. Looks like it might crash. Oh, geez. This is short and light and needs to get by that yellow, but it doesn't. So Nutmeg's still sitting 3. And I think top 12, I think top 12, I don't know why you don't want to throw behind the wings. I wouldn't throw there. He's got the open draw. He's got hammer. So burying doesn't do anything. I'd just make the draw harder and throw to the top 12. I'm missing something. Maybe there's 4 rocks left, so I could understand why you'd want to bury if there's 4 rocks left. I thought there were only 2 rocks left. So that's where I would go, finally. That's what they decided. Top 12, center line. Exactly. Cut off the path to the button. I'd even go right of the center line. Top 12 right of the center line. Don't be deep here. You don't want to give him a hit that he can hit and roll somewhere, but top 12 right of the center line is the perfect shot, I think, Joel. Over on C, I see a flashed hit coming down. No, he made the hit, but he might roll out. Victor Lee going to try and sweep that out, but he can't. Nice curling shoes there, Victor Lee. I like those Nikes. Nikes makes curling shoes? Are those Nikes? Seriously? Can't be, right?
Yeah, gold line.
Oh, those are gold line. Very nice. They look like spats. I like them.
They're good tap dancing shoes.
They do. They look like you can tap dance. Hey, if you don't make a shot, at least you can dance, right?
Exactly. You distract them with your feet.
All right. Joel has thrown basically the perfect shot. That is the perfect shot, Joel. Really well done. Perfect shot. Top 12, counting, cuts off everything. Perfect shot. And now Galt is going to have to draw behind. He's got to draw behind and bury, or he's going to get buried. That was a really nice shot. Looks like Oshawa and Broomstone's trading hits again. This has been going on for a while, most of this game. And that hit looks perfect. That's really nice weight. And that's going to hit and roll behind cover. Or did they throw that too down? Oh, my goodness. Really down. Jesus. That looked really good until it didn't. Like a lot of curling shots. It looked really good until it didn't. I liked that the whole way, but it turned out it was down. So Victor Lee has an opportunity to draw behind and sit 2 with hammer. Gotta go, boys. This could crash. Oh, it's not crashing. This looks really good. Needs to finish. It's hanging out a little bit. Needs to finish. They're trying to sweep it behind to get a little directional sweeping, and look at that move. And they're going to take it back maybe a little too far, and it may have overcurled a little out from the guard. Probably overswept that a smidge. That's what happens sometimes when the skip starts sweeping and doesn't pay attention to, the line. But Oshawa has an opportunity now to draw down to that one on the back. There's plenty of room, although it looks like he's trying to hit again. Hit and roll over isn't bad either. He's got to get to the inside, and it looks like he's not going to get inside enough. That's just going to be a nose hit. So Victor Lee can hit back again and sit 2. And it looks like Galt has put a spectacular draw through. Very nice draw there. So we have a problem because the nutmeg end and the other 2 ends are all in the wrong directions. But we're going to stay on the nutmeg end because it's very interesting and because it's the nutmeg team, and that's probably what people want to see. So that's where we are. So Joel's going to try and throw through that port and hit that red one back. On the other sheets that you're not seeing action on right now, Oshawa and Broomstones. Oshawa is trying to hit Broomstones out, and this looks flash to the wall. So this looks like a complete flash to the wall, and Broomstones is going to be sitting 2 and with a stone in hand, as that was completely flash. Broomstone is sitting 2, looking to draw into the top 4, behind cover, and get back in this game. Joel's shot coming down through the port. Sweepers are on it. Looks like he's crashing. And he does. So this was a potentially very bad end for Galt, and they have managed to not only sit 1, but they have a free draw to take 2 and get back in the game. So, as I said, the game on B proceeding extremely slowly. They are through 5 ends with 24 minutes to go, and I don't see any way that they're going to get 3 more ends in. So it's going to be a 7-end game for the Nutmeg Galt game. Broomstones has just drawn in to sit 3, but that one is also behind the tee line, giving Oshawa a pretty open draw to sit on top of Broomstones. I think it's time to stop messing around with the hits and throw a draw down on top of those stones, but it looks like the Oshawa skip agrees with me, and that's what he's going to do. So he's going to draw down to those 2 stones on the back, and we'll show you that in a second, right after Nutmeg, this Nutmeg end concludes end 5. And it looks like they're going to have to go for Galt. He's got it. Nice shot for Galt to take 2. Throws to the top 4, and it is now 4-2 Nutmeg after 5. And we will now go to the warm room view. So in the warm room view, you can see on sheet C, Oshawa just threw deep And Broomstones is sitting 3 with another opportunity to draw another one in and sit 4. So Oshawa can draw in and sit 4.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, I'll take
But
that.
it's perfect.
Oshawa can draw, Broomstones can draw in, I'm sorry, and sit 4. Trying to decide which way to come. I think you should come from the right, because you come from the left, you're going to leave open those 2 on the back for Oshawa to sit on. So you have to come from the right. Go top 8, perfect draw, pass the perfect shot, top 8, even top 12. Don't have to be deep, just counting, closing off the draw on that side. Line's really good. It's all about the weight now. They're not on it. Oh, it's curling a lot. Got to play for the wick now off the red. Play for the wick. Got to get the wick now. All right. That was a good plan B. Good plan B. Put up the guard on the wick. Move the red over a little bit to take the draw away on the other side a little bit. Very nice shot. There is room, maybe, to still get through, or in off the yellow. That's what he's going to play, the in off the yellow. Shots there. We've been seeing a lot of shots not move very much off the wall. This is very weight sensitive. I've seen shots pitched to the wall that don't come back. I've seen downweight shots curl 2 feet coming away from the wall. So this is a very weight sensitive shot. I think you got to basically go pretty much right at the rock, big weight, hope it moves maybe 3-4 inches, catches the inside and rolls over. So really need kind of big weight right at the rock. So Jerry Giddings up 7-4, but Broomstone sitting 3. Oshawa without the hammer, first skip stone here. A lot of weight. Looks pretty good. Sweepers are not on it. Looks like he's going to nose, though. I don't know if he's going to get the inside. It's hard for me to see. Some roll. Some roll, but not enough roll. He might still be shot, though. Let's take a look at that. So on the near C camera, it does look like Victor Lee threw, Jerry Giddings did throw a hit to sit shot, but he did not get as much roll as he wanted, leaving Victor Lee from Broomstones with an opportunity to hit and roll to the inside of that and sit 3. Meanwhile, over on sheet B, Nutmeg working very hard to draw in. We'll go back to the full view. Nutmeg working very hard to draw in on top of that red. Was a little short, but still a good shot. Galt sitting a shot on the back 4. And then over on, and Victor Lee has set this one out. He set it out of his hand, too much weight, and missed. So a very big flash with a huge opportunity in the end to score a big number, and he's pretty down about it, you can see. It's a very weight-sensitive line, as I said, and if you throw it with too much weight to the wall, it will sail to the wall, and that's what happened. So Jerry Giddings is just going to thank his lucky stars here that there was a flash, and he's going to try and put up a guard and steal one here if he can. Over on See if we can take a look on the near. Oh, we look like we got a hog stone, maybe. Nope, just barely gets over. Barely gets over on sheet B, but Nutmeg still has the run back on the yellow-red, and that's probably what he'll throw. Yep, he's calling the run back on the yellow-red. And over on sheet A, we'll take a quick look at sheet A because we haven't really looked at that in a while. So on the near A, we have the trustees sitting shot on the back 8. We have Guelph B with 2 stones in the house. Switching back to the nutmeg shot, and he just missed it. Just missed it. All right. Oshawa has tried to put up the guard and ran a little deep, but I don't see any way that Broomstones can double those. However, if Broomstones can hit the top red into the back red and maybe flop over, he could take 2. Most important thing is to hit the top red. I don't think there's any way he can run them both. It's just on that line with that guard. I don't think he can run them both. And if he hits the red on the outside like he's looking at it, I think the probabilities are that red jams on the red behind it and winds up shot. I think he would be better off trying to hit the red on the inside or dead nose, run the red back, the shot red back, and take 1. So I think it's better if he hits the red on the nose. If he hits it on the right side, as we're looking at it from the warm room window, I think red's going to wind up shot. Very, very hard with the guard there, with the fall to the wall. He's going to have to be dead on this broom. So much better throw here. They're sweeping it. But I do think he's on the outside of the red. Well, I don't think that accomplished anything. I think it's still red 1. I think it's Oshawa 1, and Oshawa is going to take an 8-4 lead. And over on sheet B, Galt tried to chip out that nutmeg stone and moved it, but didn't move it out. And so nutmeg is still sitting shot. And over on A, not sure how it happened, but if you look at A, the team from Guelph is now sitting 1-2 in the top 4. Top 8, I'm sorry. So Guelph in the top 8. Hard to watch all the games, but it appears that somewhere along the way, the trustees took 4 in the last end, or 5 in the last end, and took a 6-4 lead on sheet A. I guess they knocked that red stone was on the button. They must have knocked it out with the last shot. I missed it. To take 4. Somebody is watching a replay of one of the earlier games, so I'm hearing my call from the earlier game. Only a little distracting. The trustees are trying to hit one of these Guelph stones in the top, and they did get it out. but Guelph is still sitting 1. So Guelph is going to look to hit that stone that was just thrown and take 2 here. He's got to hit it to the inside and roll over. Over on sheet C, that stone is hot going down. So we can't cover all of the action. The game on C is going away from the warm room, but we're on toward the warm room view right now. As the clock is down to 12 minutes here in the 6th end, so as I said, I think almost certainly A and B are 7-end games. C will be an 8-end game. The nutmeg stone is going to just be a guard on that red, but it's kind of a loaded gun. If you can run the yellow into the red, that red looks like it's going right back on the shot rock. So can't see from here whether he can get to that yellow. There is a very high guard, and it'd probably be very tough to get to that. There's also a straight draw into that yellow on the back, and that's probably the play. So I didn't see the last shot on sheet A. I know Guelph was sitting 1. Guelph is in the hack, so Guelph took at least 1. I don't know if they got the second one, so it's a very close game on sheet A. We'll have to wait to see if the score gets posted, when the score gets posted. Meanwhile, over on B, in the nutmeg game, it looks like the call is to either draw in or hit that one in the back 8 and roll in. I kind of think that's the call. Hit the one in the back 8 and roll in, but it could be a draw. We'll tell when he throws it. Kind of heavy draw right now. Sweepers are off. It's got a lot of weight, so I think it's more hit than draw. But they're sweeping it now, so maybe it's more draw than hit. It's got to get by, and I don't think it's going to. Maybe now it's a tap, but not a very good tap. So it still looks like it's nutmeg sitting 2, but there's still 2 stones to play. And over on A, Guelph did manage to get 2, and so it's a tie ball game on A, and pretty certainly the last end on sheet A in a 6-6 game. So we're going to have an exciting finish on sheet A. Unfortunately, we don't have a far A camera. That's going to make it tough as the end comes to an end. Looks like Joel wants to take away the yellow-red run back. I think he should be more concerned about the red slash. So they're talking it over, but I think in high guard on the 4-foot line, guarding, or, oh, he wants to corner to both reds. That'd be a lovely shot, Joel, if you could corner to both reds. Or maybe he wants to hit the inside of that red and corner over to the other red. So this is another dangerous shot. Obviously, if Joel is outside or noses, he could run that red back into both yellows, double himself out, and red would be sitting 3 if that happens. That's the worst case scenario. Could happen. Joel's going to have to throw down weight here to cut across the face. So we will take a Joel's shot is underway. We will cut to the near B and see this one coming down. So here it comes. Joel's definitely to the inside of it. Oh, but he missed everything. Oh, he did double himself out. I did say the shot was dangerous, and it was. It wasn't the way I expected it to go badly, but that's how it did go badly. And now Galt is still not sitting shot. Nutmeg is still shot, even after that disaster. But if Galt can follow that down and hit that yellow or move it back a little bit, Galt could take 3. So we need a shot. Galt needs to make a shot here. Looks like he's going to try to run back and not. Looks like he's going to try to run that red back instead of going through the port that Joel just went through. But this is going to be an interesting shot for the skip from Galt. I don't know where my, can I see this? So the skip from Galt, Cliff Simmons. He's got an opportunity to make a really big shot here. He runs this red back into the yellow. They could take 3 and the lead in this game in the 6th end. So shot is underway, no sweeping, looks a little out wide from me from here. That needs to move a ton. That looks like a flash from here. Yep, that's a flash. Disappointing effort there. And Nutmeg is going to take 1 and stay up 5-2. Or do we still have stones to throw in this end? This is a brutally slow game. They have 6 minutes on the clock and still left in the 6th end. So a brutally slow game on sheet B. So let's take a quick look at the other 2 games. Over on A, in a tie game in the 7th and likely last end, we have Guelph B sitting shot in the back 12, carried, and we have Oshawa sitting at least 1, possibly 2, against Broomstones with an 8-4 lead. And now we will go back to the Nutmeg game, where Joel's stone is underway and he's missed everything. I don't know what that was intended to be, but that accomplished nothing. And so it's 1. It's a take of 1 for Nutmeg, and Nutmeg is up 5-2 after 6, and certainly in the last end now. The clock is at 4. So this is going to be the last end for the games on A and B. And the Broomstones Oshawa game is kind of slowed down a bit. And if they're going to get in an 8th end, they're going to have to hurry. They are at Skips Rocks, 2 stones each. They got 4 minutes to throw 2 stones and get a stone off in the 8th end to play an 8th end. So very, very close in terms of the clock. Nutmeg up 5-2, probably wants one in the house top 4. They're sweeping it hard to try and get it there, and it will get there. Very lovely sweep by Craig Steffen and Skinny Larry to put it in the top 4, and Guelph really has to, Galt has to ignore that stone. He's got to put up a guard. It looks like he's going to tap this back, but that's the wrong play. He really has to put up a guard here to mount some offense. He taps this back, and I can assure you Nutmeg is just going to hit them and run them out of rocks the entire end. So not a good call here by the skip for Guelph, looking to tap this back a bit. Makes the tap, and I'm sure Joel is going to go after that stone. Actually, Joel is not going to go after that stone. I don't know what Joel is doing. Joel is going to try and corner freeze to that stone. I don't understand this at all. Up 5-2 without in the last end. You should be hitting everything you can see. Rick is coming down to it. This looks like a pretty decent shot. It's over curling a little bit, and it could flash. And yep. So advantage now to Galt a little bit by that, and Galt can now play over to the other side. Again, has to do that, I think. He's now committed to a game in the house, so he's going to have to split the house. Guard is not going to do him any good at this juncture, unless he wants to guard over to that side that he just has the stone that's sitting shot. Over on C, we have Oshawa, 2 stones in the back. Broomstones looks like he's going to try and run his yellow into that red on the back. Needs to curl a little more, but they're sweeping it hard. I think he's just going to get his own and knock his own out. Yep. And that's a disaster. So, and the clock is down to 1. So all of these games now are going to end in the 7th end. We are not going to see an 8th end in any of these games. The only game that had a chance to get to an 8th end was this Broomstones game, but it slowed to a crawl most recently, and so that's going to be it on that game too. On the Nutmeg game, Joel has finally decided to hit the stone that's in the house, and this is downweight also. I don't know why Joel keeps playing these downweight plays. But Guelph has gotten away with it again. They're still sitting shot. They do have a corner guard now to throw behind. And so there's an opportunity here for Guelph to put together a big end. Over on A in the tie game, I'm sorry, Galt on B has an opportunity to put together an end. Over on A, Guelph B is sitting shot in the 8, stone in hand, and the hammer, not the hammer. Guelph B does not have the hammer, but they are looking to draw in another one behind. So stone is on its way. Sweepers are on it. And this rock looks really good on A for Guelph B. I like it. The rock also looks pretty decent for Galt on C, on B, but no, it came up light. Still not terrible. It's a guard. They could still use it, but they need 4 or 3. They need 3. And Joel has finally decided to commit to actually getting rid of this Galt stone. So Craig Steffen's going to try and throw the run back yellow into the red. A lot of weight. Sweepers are off. It looks pretty pitched out. Looks really sailing out. Yeah, he took his own out. So another opportunity for Galt to draw in. Need to draw one into the 4 behind those 2 guards. Over on C, Oshawa has 3 stones in the house, and in a point spiel, this is a huge shot for Victor Lee and Broomstones to open draw against 1. He does have backing. Looks like he's going to play to the backing. If he noses that stone in the back or corners inside to that stone in the back, he will take 1 and lose 8-5, but at least not give up 3 stones to Canada. So it's a big throw here. Over on B, Galt is sitting 2, and Joel is now asked Skinny Larry to throw the yellow-red run back. And I think Skinny Larry will be all over this shot. This is a pretty easy shot for Skinny Larry. Sweepers are on it. And he's got it. So Galt is still sitting shot. Victor Lee's draw is on its way. Sweepers are on and off. It's not going to use the backing, so it needs to stop. Looks like it will. Very nice shot by Victor Lee. Great way to finish. I'm sure he's disappointed with the result, but they played very well. Broomstones played really well against a really good Oshawa team. That was a really good game. Enjoyed that immensely. 8-5 Oshawa. And Canada continues to put a hurt here on us in the Ross Tarlton here at Nutmeg. But we still have the Nutmeggers who are looking to pull this game out. But Galt is about to put a second shot in and sit 2, and that one's buried. That may be the best shot I've seen from Galt all day. That was spectacular. So almost fully buried, top 4. And Joel is now going to ask Skinny Larry to draw in, which is, of course, hard to do after throwing a big hit and always hard to do in a big spot in an 8th end of a game. They are bringing the rocks back on sheet C because the clock has expired. Skinny Larry in the hack trying to get a good sense of the broom and the weight. So he lines up for this shot. Looks to me like he came flying out a bit. So that may be a pretty big weight. Sweepers are not on it. I thought he came out a little hot. And it's moving over, so if he gets a piece of it, that won't be bad. That would have gone through otherwise. So he did get a piece of it, but it was hot. It's not a bad shot, but it's hittable, and it could be hittable for 3. Over on A, we can see that the Guelph B team is sitting 2 over on A. And it is the Skips.
Oh, that's right.
First shot. It's not a Skip Rock, is it? Can't really tell. Being blocked a little bit here in my view in the warm room by the teams coming off C, so it's hard to see. But the trustees are looking to throw big weight here and maybe run that yellow back into the red. So this looks pretty good from here. Overcurled, and it looks like the red is going to take 2 on sheet A, maybe 3. So that's going to be another big win for Canada. Couldn't tell if that was a shot for 2 or 3, but they're moving the rocks and shaking hands. So that game's over. A big victory in a very hard-fought game. The trustees were down at 1.61, came back to tie it with 5 in the 5th. Actually, we were down 4-1, took 5 in the 5th to go up by 2, but then let it slip away, giving up 2 in the 6th and then either 2 or 3 in the 7th. Hard-fought match, exciting finish, and now Joel is looking to throw a stone in. Nutmeg with a 5-2 lead. Galt sitting shot maybe, or it could be Joel is sitting shot. I can't really tell from this angle. Joel is going to crash on this guard and leave an open hit. We can go to the far B house, and it's very close. as to who shot, but Galt has an open hit on that yellow stone with this last rock. Looks like Galt has 2 stones to play. Nutmeg has 1. So if Galt can make this hit and roll behind, they would still have an opportunity to tie this game. So needs to hit and roll behind. Not sure why the broom is where it is. Why he'd come in that direction. I think the better play would be to come the other direction, but because now he's got the guard to worry about. And it looks like he's still got to clear the guard. They're not sweeping. So, wow. That's interesting. So, that overcurled quite a bit. It was very down weight. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there with that broom and that weight. But anyway, Galt is sitting shot. Joel has a throw. Joel could just hit that red stone on the nose and spill his own stone, or hit that red stone off to the left side and shoot it out. And either way, he'd win the game. Of course, what I've learned so far today is this is all about points, and so maybe that's a consideration. But if it's me, I'm looking to win the game. So Joel wants to hit that red stone either dead center or left of center. If he hits it right of center, it's clearly going to jam on the red, depending upon how much the yellow, depending upon how much weight he throws. It could take the yellow out and the red out, or the red could stay, and then the shooter could roll over behind cover. There's a lot of things could happen here. It really depends on what weight he's throwing. And he's throwing, like I'd say, control. The sweepers are off it. I'm pretty sure they want to hit it on the outside. It's coming down. Sweepers are on it now. Oh, this looks really good. Really nice shot. The yellow spilled. They didn't sweep the yellow out. It doesn't really matter. He's got to hit and stay on the yellow. Nutmeg's won the game now. There's no way for Galt to score 3. So Nutmeg has sealed the victory. It's all about the points now. So if Galt can hit and stay, it will be a 1-point win for Nutmeg in a 5-4 finish. But very nice effort by the Nutmeg team to be the only team in this draw to win. And Nutmeg has accredited itself very well in the Ross Tarlton with a tie yesterday and a victory today. So good job by the home team, Nutmeg men. It looks like Galt has got the hit here. So that's going to be for 2. Galt takes 2. Nutmeg wins the game 5-4. Handshakes all around. That's the end of the 12:30 draw, and the next draw is at 2:45. So we'll be cleaning up the ice, and we'll be back shortly. Mark Zakin, and I am signing.